Hey everybody, it's Tracy. Today I want to talk about my recent ear surgery, why I needed it, what's going on, and am I deaf? Yesterday, Monday the 18th of September, I had a subtotal petrousectomy on my left ear, as you can tell by the bandage. This was to close off and seal my outer ear canal and to clean out the entire middle ear area to stop infections that I was getting. Now, to back up why I need that, 32 years ago, I had a very severe ear infection that I'd probably had for several months, and at that time I did not have health insurance on me, so I didn't go to the doctor. Once I got health insurance again, I went in and and it was like draining, not to be completely gross, but it was draining green and yellow pus and blood. And so when I finally got into the ENT, he took one look and said, "You need surgery." So what started it was an ear infection that I had. Ironically, it didn't really hurt, that was untreated, and it destroyed the mastoid in my ear. And the mastoid is just millimeters from your brain. We got the surgery scheduled, and then I found out that I was pregnant with my third child, even though I was on birth control. So we had to postpone the surgery, and it was going to be done 6 weeks after my daughter was born. And I continued to work full time, and one day in October, I stood up from my desk. Now, she was due in January. So this was like October 25th, late third week in October. And I stood up, and my vision went down to a pinpoint, all black all the way around, and my vision was a pinpoint. I called my ENT, and he said, "We've got to do surgery now." So I had the surgery at a hospital where not only my ear surgeon was, but my OB team, because when you do a serious surgery on you that can't wait, I was like, 7 months pregnant? They had to have an OB team there in case something went wrong, they could take the baby. So that's what happened. They did a mastoidectomy, horrific surgery, and they cut literally behind the outer part of your ear around the curve, and they lay it over in your cheek, and they go in that way. So that was 32 years ago, and I lost hearing in that ear because of that surgery. Then about 20 years ago, and I never wore a hearing aid even though they told me to, but I was really young and I didn't want to wear a hearing aid because I could still hear out of the right ear. So they went 10 years ago or 20 years ago, I went back to the ENT and I'd had some infections and different things. And they said, well, now we can do what is called a tympanoplasty, where they make me a new eardrum and new middle ear bones, because all of that was kind of messed up and gone. It didn't work. And again, they cut behind the ear. A lot less invasive of a surgery, the tympanoplasty, but still makes you extremely dizzy and nauseous and all that. Anytime you're messing with the ear, it's bad. And I already have that battle nausea and dizziness and stuff because of my migraines. So that didn't work. I said, no more surgeries. Well, about 2 years ago, my hearing, so now you're talking 30 years after my original surgery and 30 years of deafness in one ear and the other one trying to compensate, they decided to do a regular hearing aid wouldn't work. They had to do a Baha cochlear conductive implant. So I have just behind my ear and my head, they drilled a hole, and I have a titanium rod. I have a hearing aid that just snaps onto the rod so I can hear. I don't use my ear canal to hear anymore. But it's been a constant source of infection because mine wasn't a sealed environment. The eardrum that they made me didn't seal off the end of my ear canal So any infections could get in behind that and in the canal. And I just had another infection. It was a bacterial and fungus infection in my ear, and we finally got that resolved. And then we went ahead and scheduled the subtotal petrousectomy, which I had done yesterday, to close off the ear canal to make it to prevent future infections. Since I already have my hearing aid, this was the next step, and the doctor, when he did it, said that's probably what's going to have to happen if I keep having infections. So, like the little thing that sticks out on your ear right here, they cut, on this one, they like cut that in half, so I'll still have that. They laid the other open to seal off the front part of the ear canal. Then they cut behind the ear again, laid it over and went in, and they obliterated everything in the middle ear and filled all that in. And it's a good thing that we did it because there was infection back behind the eardrum, and he had to clean all that out. So what was supposed to be a 1.5 hour surgery just to get the canal done took 3 hours because there was other stuff that he had to clean up. So that's why I needed the surgery yesterday, and all of the other surgeries and procedures that I've had over the last 32 years. I've got my hearing aid, so I'm fine. I have profound conductive hearing loss in my left ear. What little bit of hearing that I could get through the canal, I've lost when they sealed it up, so I will rely solely on my hearing aid to be able to hear out of this ear. My right ear has some minor hearing loss, so I am not completely deaf. I can hear things, especially with my hearing aid. Without it, I can hear sounds, but I couldn't tell where the sounds were coming from. If there were conversations, unless I read lips, I didn't know what people were saying. So the hearing aid really, really helps. So there you have it. It's about a 4-week recovery. I'm feeling a lot better today than I was yesterday, but it hurts. Later today, I get to take this band thing off, which is itching, and I've got pain meds and I'm fine. But that is the what and why on my hearing issues. And I am going to be learning American Sign Language because while I can hear now with my hearing aid in, my right ear is starting to go. And so I don't know if I'll ever need an implant for that because the type of hearing loss is completely different and a different reason on my right ear than it was on my left ear. But still, I think I'm going to do sign language because, I don't think my hearing's definitely not going to get any better. And it's just helpful, being someone who is technically considered hard of hearing with, I guess there's degree of deafness, but in the deaf community, I would be considered hard of hearing because I can hear things. So that's it. I'm going to go rest today with my dogs that were freaking out because I was gone all day yesterday and I got this thing on my head. So that's the what and the why. Talk to you later.